the thing, there's a zip line at the
The
end.
high ropes course?
Yeah, high ropes course. And so in
Okay.
the woods, it was like set up to where you like traverse across some obstacles, and it was probably like 40, 50 feet up, and
Okay.
all the kids made it. All the kids that did it made it through the thing.
Are you harnessed for these?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. They have where you're harnessing each obstacle. It's called like crab claws, where you disconnect from one, clip it over, and then bring the other one over.
Okay. I think there's one called Go Ape.
Uh huh.
Yeah, something like that. All right. So this thing, middle school.
Yeah, yeah. And you go up. The first obstacle was this net that you climb up, and I couldn't even. I got like 20 feet up and froze up, and just I was in tears. I was terrified. I couldn't do it, and 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 so cried my way down.
And then didn't do any more?
Yeah, well, I couldn't do. I could. They had like they had other obstacle things and other challenges. Anything above 20 feet, I would freeze up. I would freeze up, and it was
Mm-hmm.
so embarrassing because like I was really into like into all the technical stuff of the rock climbing. Even at the camp, like I knew how to use all the carabiners, how to tie the knots, and everything like that. But
Mm-hmm.
but could not complete the thing because I couldn't go above that around
As
that
soon
20.
as you hit 20.
Yep, and yeah, I mean I was like an
Wow.
avid rock climber, but like
Yeah.
it was just that height thing, and
When you say avid rock climber, you mean even in middle school?
yeah, I was as a young kid, I was obsessed with it.
Okay.
Yeah,
What part of the country?
in the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Blue Ridge
yep,
Mountains. So I didn't realize there was rock climbing you could do, but you somehow managed to not go 20 feet high. But there's still a lot of rock
yeah,
climbing to do
yeah,
between 10, 15,
yeah,
18 feet.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yep,
guess there is.
yep, and a lot of bouldering and stuff,
Uh-huh.
um, but yeah, uh, that fear, and having that, like, it definitely it challenged me to look at like what that was, because I knew, like, as I'm getting older, like I knew that it was irrational. There was an irrational side of it, um and so I just what that didn't sit okay with me, that there was this like
Yeah.
delusional fear that I was experiencing, that
That was
was messing
that
up
was
some.
like changing you chemically, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It's like,
absolutely.
yeah,
To where I couldn't
freaking hate
move,
that. Yeah.
and so that's why every open door to approach it, I would. And and um and I remember one time I was down here at Perney Pasture on the river, and I ran across a company called Riverside Outfitters. They were doing the high ropes course camp for kids,
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah, I've heard of
on the
them for
river,
sure.
and they would go down and set up the ropes and everything, and so I was watching them one day, like doing the camp, and I went over and talked to the head counselor guy, and he and I, we got along really well, and was talking about rock climbing and stuff, and he was like, yeah, you ought to come out, and work at camp with us. We could use a hand, and from there, that started a relationship with Riverside Outfitters, and I became one of the head counselors, designing the courses, and
Designing this high
yeah,
ropes
yeah,
course.
and so I
Okay.
was able to, kind of slowly like work on the fear aspect, and
Yeah.
the more that I learned about, the knots and the weight loads that everything could bear, the less, the fear, it less and less made sense. Like it was like, okay, well, this is definitely irrational. I can just push this aside. There's no reason I'm feeling this,
Yeah.
and I was able to replace my understanding of thinking that it was fear that I was experiencing, and it being more of just kind of like my body's natural fight or flight response, like to
Yeah.
adrenaline. So like when we're in a situation where we might need to run or be ready for something, like our heart starts beating faster. We start like, our sensitivity, everything, and we interpret that as fear.
Yeah.
But really, it's our body is preparing for conflict or preparing for something to happen.
How, it's so confounding, man, because it's like I'm ready. You know how I know I'm ready? Because I'm like sweating and I can barely breathe,
Right.
and
Yeah.
and all I want to do is hide.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. Well, see, like I think that our brain, as we like we doubt ourselves, we
Yeah.
we kind of we kind of spiral into a it's a kind of a downward spiral of, like, the second we feel the doubt, then we're unsure. Oh wait, I'm scared, and anxiety kicks in,
Is
and
that
it
red?
and it kind of tumbles down like that. But but learning how to
Can't tell what color that light is right now.
I have no idea. um but well, back to with the High Ropes Course Camp for Kids. So they had a sister company. Oh, they have a sister. Riverside Outfitters is connected to True Timber Tree Service, which is,
Interesting.
which is a big company here in Richmond.
Okay.
And they saw that I had kind of a natural abilities in the tree, working with the kids and stuff, and they were like, well, hey, you want to come make twice as much and carry a chainsaw? Like, sure. And so that was very valuable working with them, because um, they do like a lot of like the training, and being a big company, they do certifications,
Okay.
and that also got me a chance to do like the Mid Atlantic Tree Climbing Championship. And so
You've
that
done this?
yeah, yeah, uh-huh. And so that was real exciting. And so, yeah, so learning how to, doing the tree work, and having to, you know having a whole crew of people waiting for you to finish this tree, that I was able to use that as motivation to push past my limits, like that 20-foot limit.
Mm-hmm.
um
Wait, when did you actually start realizing that you were going higher than the 20 foot?
well, like,
Was that still back in middle school, or was that
no, this was, so I started climbing trees for tree care like when I was like 17.
okay?
Yeah, 17. Yeah. So that whole time period, I'm bad with
So after you started
years, but
learning the gear more and more,
yeah, yeah,
the
and
load,
mhm,
like
right,
capacity,
what everything can hold and
and then all of a
stuff.
sudden you're going higher and higher.
Right. Yeah, because, like, you know, after 10 feet, if you fall at that height, like,
Your
the chance.
injuries,
Yeah, I mean,
right?
so there's not much difference between 30 feet and 100 feet. Either way, it's, the outcome
Yeah,
is the same.
yeah,
Well, for the most part, statistically speaking.
sure.
Now, I did, after having been a tree climber for about 6 years, I did fall 50 feet out of a tree. Free fell 50 feet out of a tree, landed on my feet, collapsed to my butt, and broke my back. But I only so I it was I say only, but at that height, it's an only. I only crushed two vertebrae and
Yeah.
five herniated discs, but I did not break my legs. Like, and so at that height, that I mean, you expect your knees to come, to blow out, like, and all
Yeah.
this other stuff, like, horrific. But
Yeah.
I mean, I know that when the medics got there and they looked from where I fell from, they paused, like they were in shock
Did you
because,
black out?
no, I didn't
Wow.
black out. I experienced all of it.
Oh my god, dude.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, that
And
just gives anybody the heebie-jeebies.
yeah, that was my daughter had just been born 2 weeks prior.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, and it was a long day. It was at the end of a long day, last tree of the day, and you know, I was I was exhausted. It was bad rope placement. I, 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 I put the rope in a spot to where as I was rappelling out of the tree, the rope spun off of the stop that I had left, and just like rolled right off because I lost my footing, spun around, and the rope rolled off, and I dropped. You know,
Hmm.
but I was back in a tree 6 months later.
6 months after that?
Yeah.
Wild, man, dude.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So now it's almost like you're a master of the of what all the equipment does.
Yeah.
So you don't really have to worry about the height because you're just thinking about did I do the right thing with the
Right.
equipment?
Yeah. Yeah. Once you trust your knots and you trust your equipment, then once you can establish in your mind, like, okay, is this a rational or irrational fear? Because you know if it's rational, then you have to reassess what's going on, right? Like then you have to engage with it. If it's irrational, then it doesn't need to be engaged with it. And so as a tree climber, I developed processes to deal with the irrational fears, such as, like, so when I would start to experience that feeling, I would focus intently on what I'm doing, and try to do busy work. So like if I'm taking down a tree, busy work would be like busy, like where you don't need to put too much thought into it, but just keep yourself moving, is cutting suckers. Pull out my handsaw, start cutting little sprouts,
Okay.
and to get, because that clears the view so that people on the ground can see what's going on, so you can get a clear picture of what's going
So
on.
it's good to do that.
And it's
Okay.
so it's good to do it anyway, and it's something that doesn't take a whole bunch of thought, so you can busy your mind into something, which kind of helps put you in a state that pushes past that fear.
Hmm.
And um and so in learning that process, and because the fear thing would just come, it would overwhelm me for a moment, and but it would pass if I push past it,
Yeah.
because it takes, climbing a tree requires so much of your attention and focus that you don't have time for things like fear. You just don't. Like, that's why, like, it would
Interesting.
cripple me, because
Yeah.
but you don't have time for, like, and one of the things that makes it therapeutic, you don't have time for, like, what's going on in your life at the time, like if you're stressed out, or like you got a
Ah,
lot of stuff
you know
going
what? I
on.
love climbing trees. Me and my son haven't climbed trees in quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about getting 5 feet
Yeah.
off the
Yeah, of
ground.
course.
Okay. This is 5 through
He said it
502.
was right on the corner, so I'll have
It's
to,
one of these. Look, are we looking for his car? Or...
if I,
Well, thanks for sharing that, man. Because I'm really interested in like the rational fear versus irrational fear.
yeah, that's a big thing. That helped me. I was able to apply that process to everything in my life. Because that's the key.
Yeah. To other things.
Yeah.
There you go, man.
Yeah, he said it was on the corner. I could probably get out here. I guess he's not here
All
yet.
right. Well, it's not always trivia,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's like a story about work and how people got into it. And
Yeah.
I think that boils down to what you are afraid of. There's so much value in dismantling that,
Yeah.
like you did, breaking it
Yeah.
apart and being like, can I work with this?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's paying you double what you're getting for some else.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Snap. Thanks, man.
Awesome.
Here, take one of these, maybe you win.
Oh shoot! Thank you.
Scratch that off later.
Thank you.